All right, we're back with another episode of Are You Dust? I'm AA Ron.
I'm Mr. Shroom, and today we are joined by a very special guest. Say hello, Jeremy.
Was cracking.
Jeremy Jesus Christ got to see Mr. AA Ron attempt to take his first salvia trip. And how did that go for you?
Man, I must tell you, it does not taste great. And once we put it into the bong, I did notice some things were off. I was expecting another man in the car that wasn't here. My balance was a little F, but y'all were expecting a little more.
And we don't have that to give to you. I don't know if he's immune. I don't know, if his dick's too small. The salvia just didn't work.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too old.
Could have been all of the above.
I mean, it could have been. But we've made a pact that we're going to get this man some 120X.
Ooh, yeah.
And he's going to rip it. And that's going to be a part of the show.
Still, yeah. Man, Jeremy's here, and he's got some stories from Hades, son. So, dude, just to start him off one time, tell us that story about how you OD'd.
Right on.
This is like heroin immediately off the get-go.
Son.
Well, it's just an average day. It really, it was your ordinary Saturday. It seriously was. Got off work, drove over to my buddy's house out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, right? And, I'm talking about middle of, a field. His family owned, hundreds of acres. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There ain't nothing you gotta worry about. And we just get fucked up as we wanted, Hammered, look out at the stars, do whatever. Ride four-wheelers, shoot guns middle of the night. Didn't matter, And this one night, we were doing some perk 30s and smoking weed. And these were what we called the dirty 30s, knowing good and well that there was fentanyl in them, which was questionable. But
hold on, time out. We got a segue on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a hot topic. How did we know there was fentanyl in these?
The guy I was buying them from, the guy they were buying them from, told me.
Okay, sounds legit. Let's go.
Yeah.
The story.
Yeah. Also, any Molly purchased in the Concord, Charlotte area is meth. Disclaimer. But I basically went in, the rule was never snort a whole one at once. This shit was so potent you would take bumps of it with the point of a Capri Sun straw. And you'd get you
That's
about...
little.
That's so
little.
specific.
Yeah, you'd get you about 2 to 3 bumps off a Capri Sun straw, maybe 4, and you'd be chilling. Some days they're stronger than others, so you had to test the waters, right? You can't go jumping into it. Sometimes you take 11 of these things and, whatever, and then other times you take 2, 3, and you overdose on your buddy's porch, right?
You what?
So...
It happens.
So here we are playing Minecraft, and we're loading up on some perks, and we decide we're too sauce to play Minecraft, so we have to watch a movie. I go to take another bump, and I just realized that the little container I had where I crushed up one pill at a time, right? I had done the whole thing at once. You feel me? I had done half of it, and I kind of set it down for a second, and then I picked it right back up and finished it. And I realized, I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, no, I did all my drugs.
Well, no, I had plenty more. But it was like, I broke the golden rule of don't do more than one at once.
Yeah.
And then I remember waking up to, somebody beating on me. And, I'm, trying to push them off and, what the hell's going on? And then I see the blue lights and everything, and I realized that, I overdosed, And then, obviously, you're sitting there, because I've never really gotten into some trouble even, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it was just, a moment of, wow, what the hell have I done? But, beyond that point, he's sitting over there, the paramedic is, doing his thing. And then, so he tells me, I'm like, yo, am I going to be alive, right? And he says, I have no idea. And that's just not what and the craziest thing of the whole experience was probably so these people deal with so many overdoses that literally they just don't care about you. They assume you're going to be dead within the next week, if not tonight, and they assume you're already gone, and they treat you like that,
Yeah.
It's rough. And so, they're talking like I'm just some run-of-the-mill crackhead that just, inevitably I'm going to die within the next few days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Multiple of them said that, you know what I mean? And, but anyway, I'm laying there, bro, and this is, initially, some guy cracked a joke. I don't remember what exactly was said, but about the Dare shirt that I was wearing. That said, yeah, you know, stop drugs or whatever. And he said something along the lines of, so you thought it would just be funny to throw on a Dare shirt and go out and do perks with your buddy tonight, you know? And yes, that was, you know, the plan.
That's brilliant. That's one of my favorite stories.
What a fucking story. Like, I was kind of doubting the sincerity until you told me the paramedics started talking to you, and it's like, holy shit, this is real.
I got a buddy that overdosed 8 times. Probably more now.
Not a bright character.
Not a bright character, really testing it.
Is he trying to set a record?
I don't know.
I think he's trying to succeed death.
I had one, and then, like, I had, you know, I can't even. Hell, last night, this is the first time I've really, I guess, been tempted with it in a while, you know, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But, because I haven't been around any of that in, like, 3 years or so. But, I had a buddy that had some blow, and I was just going to his house to smoke weed. Pulls out a bag, and he's like, you know, oh, you want to pull? And I always thought that, like, I would want some, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So he pulls it out, and I, like, and it wasn't even, like, a make myself say no. It was just like, oh, no, man, you know?
Yeah.
I gotta get up for work in the morning. That sounds like a horrible fucking, you know? So that was cool.
Way to resist peer pressure.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Well, no, I wouldn't. It was more of the, like, I just didn't want to, you know? And I was surprised by that in myself. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
No. No. Every time Coke was offered to me, I did it.
Well, me too, up till this very point is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, man, more power to you.
Still, yeah.
I think you've got willpower that probably most of us have no idea about.
Well, I had to, I knew today I had to get up at about 6 and drive out to a new job we're starting, you know, and I had to fucking lay out some shit, dig a bunch of holes, stand some 6x6s up. I didn't want to be all, you know, be out there, have a fucking stroke, you know what I mean?
Right. Be all tweaky.
Yeah.
So I've got, like, the closest thing I can come to that story as far as ODing go. My mom got a script for, I guess, pens, the 10 milligrams, whatever, the 7.5 acetaminophen, or whatever it is. And I was real bad about taking them from her bottle. That's a whole nother thing when she finally found out I was taking them. But I ate like 6 one night, and I got in the shower.
As you do.
As you do, you know. I mean, this seems like a good night to take 6 of them.
Perks before a shower.
Yeah.
Come on now,
Yeah.
dude. A nice warm shower.
Exactly.
6 Percocets. Do you
Exactly.
know how fucking nice that is?
I'm about to take this nice ass cozy shower, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I get in the shower.
What year was this? Like,
Oh god, this was like 2011. I was still in high school.
I was hoping for 2016, like fucking, what's his name? You just had Juice WRLD playing in the background.
Oh, yeah. But so like I get in the shower and like everything's fine at first, and like I don't know, a minute. I don't know how long. Time is irrelevant, but like I just remember like all of a sudden starting to feel real lightheaded, and like I look up at the water, and like the next thing I know, like I'm on the floor of the shower with my eyes shut. And, like, I know I'm in the shower because I can feel the water hitting me. And I was just in the shower. It's not like, why wouldn't I be in the shower? And, like, my eyes are shut. And I'm just, like, I'm seeing all these different colors. Like, if you just fucking screwed your eyes shut right now real tight, you'd probably see, like, different colors and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's trippy. But, so, like, I'm like, fuck. And, like, I notice my body is like, fuck. And, like, I get myself up to, like, I'm hunched over on, like, one knee, kind of. And I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And, like my body, again, wasn't like, my body hasn't worked with me a few times, going back to episode 1.
Yeah.
And, I remember, like, crawling down my hallway to my bedroom where I had this couch in there. And I literally, like, I crawled down, like, I'm not going to say, like, my body totally wasn't working, but, like, it was, like, an army crawl down there, because, I could not stand up without feeling fucking nauseous. And, like, I managed to get myself on my couch and under a blanket. And I remember my parents showing up, like, a few hours later, my mom coming up to my room, like, hey, like, we're home. I'm like, hey. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't feel good. I started feeling sick in the shower. I think I have the flu. Because that's what you say, you know?
Right.
And she's like, oh, okay, let me know if you need anything. And it's like, a Gatorade would be great. And, yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. Like, once I went to sleep, I felt a lot better. But I've never had that experience on painkillers specifically, like, whiting out and fucking, like, coming to. And it's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy as hell.
I once was smoking weed with, I don't really want to name drop him, but a certain buddy of ours that, you know, plays in a band.
Yeah, we talked about him earlier. We called him Gannon with the cannon.
Okay, cool, that guy.
Yeah.
You know, all right, so yeah, that guy, a good buddy of mine, and we're sitting there toking on some reef in his garage, you know, circa, like, I'm 16 or so, and I was leaned up on a pool table, and about 2 feet in front of me or so, or maybe less, there was, like, a counter. Aaron, I don't know if you ever saw the OG Cannon's garage layout, you know.
No, I did not.
Okay, it was cool. But so, yeah, there's a little desk, like, right in front of the pool table, so you could just, you know, turn around, roll you up some weed, take it, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, I'm leaned up on the pool table, bong sitting there, and I just taken a rip, I set it down, and the minute I said, this was like 2:30 in the afternoon, I just got out of school, or 3 or whatever. The minute I set it down, I just completely black out and just go to fall forward. And the crazy thing is, this was about a week after I did that salvia.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they say you could have, like, flashbacks or whatever. I don't know what it was. This was also a period of time where, like, I didn't really eat enough, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing Adderall and shit. So, like,
Jeremy's got a way with telling stories. Like, the more he tells, the more addicted I get. The more I cling on to each word.
Son, so good. We got to get some of those buds on. Old Gannon the Cannon. He's got some stories. Mr. Skin, he got some stories. We could freaking get the goons over. I was telling him about Logan tweaking out
I got to really...
and stuffing him in his trunk.
Was he there that night?
Were you there at the tweak out?
No, I wasn't at the tweak out.
Thank God you weren't part of the kidnapping.
Man.
Yeah, you know.
That's horrible. But he does know the guy, though.
It would have chode on that.
We could get him in here.
I'm really a person that loves a lot. Like, you know, everybody. I'm not, but that guy sucks, man.
You've got the lover of all people back here saying he's a chode. Like, the dude's a chode. You straight up know it.
No, he's not disrespectful or anything, but he just has a level of not standing up for himself that is remarkable.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It absolutely is. I watched him get beat up
not,
in an elevator.
It's just like... You know,
Dude's throwing him like he's in a pit, dude. You're just throwing him against him. And he's taking it in the face. He falls over, he's puking in a bag, and this guy just comes over and kicks him in the face. All handbags.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
It's like, dude, no, don't hang out with these guys anymore, first
Dude,
of all.
that's what
Find
I
some
told
real
him.
friends,
When
but-
I started hanging with him, I was like, why do you let people treat you like this? He's like, bro, it's just fun, you know? They're just having a good time. I'm
Yeah,
like, dude,
but you're not.
You're being the ass of the evening.
Anybody that puts you in a trunk and drives 8 minutes down the road,
Dude, yeah.
if you put me in a fucking trunk and didn't
Of
let
your
me
own
out
car?
immediately, like, I would get out ready to fucking, in all seriousness,
Right.
Like, if I'm not about ready to kill you, like, I'm obviously never going to talk to you again.
Absolutely.
Like my life is going to be separate than yours.
Dude,
like,
you already
what
know.
the fuck?
And he was just like, I'm going home.
I'm going home. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then left his phone with him. Oh, just brutal. We could bring him in here and just get his point of view. But anywho's fuck.
I'll tell you what I got. Would you care for another tripping story?
Fuck
Sure.
yeah.
All right, this is Aaron. I think I might have just caught you up on this one recently, but so this is like a Sunday, and I just got. This isn't like early on. Like, I started taking acid and stuff when I was like 16. This was when I was like probably 20 or so. You know, so this wasn't super early. This was like right before I kind of stopped. This is one of the last heavy ones I had, but I bought I think a quarter of mushrooms. And my plan was I was going to go over to Morrow Mountain, and shout out Morrow Mountain, and I was just going to take like an eighth or so. And you can sit in your car and just look out at that one place you can park, you know, nice mountain view. I was like, all right, you know, or I could go on the hiking trail. So my plan was I'm going to walk down this trail, you know, get a nice trip in, you know, it'd be a nice day.
And you're by yourself.
I love doing that. Yeah, nice solo trip.
Okay.
Whoa.
And so that was my whole plan. And I'm going there. And I was like, you know, if I trip too hard, I can just go to the car. That's a safe zone, you know? and I'll ride it out.
Totally.
But what ends up happening is I'm on my way there, and my buddy calls me. He goes, "Hey man, you got that $600 you owe me?" And I was like, "Yeah, you told me you wouldn't need it for a few weeks. That like I can get it to you, but like he made it sound like it wasn't a problem, the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's like, hey, you got that?" So I'm like, "Yeah, all right, I'll drive it out to you." Now the problem was I knew the minute he found out I had these shrooms, he was gonna be trying to do them with me, right? The bigger issue is I bought them from him.
Oh.
So he already knows. So I'm driving over there, and once I get there, he basically is like, "Hey, bro, you taking them shrooms today?" And I was like, I kind of caved because I've been talking to him for a minute, And I was like, "Oh yeah, I was finna. I'm going over to Tomorrow Mountain, a little solo trip, whatever." I'm hoping he'll just,
Respect it.
respect it. But then this man goes on a rant about like how fun it would be to go to Charlotte and have his girlfriend be a DD, and like we could see all the light shining, you know what I mean? And whatever. And at this point in my life, I let people kind of direct me more than I did myself, you feel me? If this was
Right.
today, I would have been like, "Fuck off, I'm going to go do what I plan to do,"
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I went along for the ride, right? I was like, "Fuck, let's see where this goes." So, he takes an eighth, I take an eighth, he gives me the money back, whatever. And we're on the way to Charlotte. We get there, and then his girlfriend she's the DD, she's supposed to remember where we park, right? That didn't happen. I'm tripping balls in the middle of Charlotte. We're walking the streets, buddy's beside me. Within like 10 minutes of being outside of the place we parked in, we see a homeless man. He's got a sign that says, need money for whatever, right? And my boy Chandler walks up to him. Now, we all know about those, like, fake homeless people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That are just posing. I guess his, tripping ass was suspicious of this guy. So he walks up to a fucking homeless guy. And Chandler's huge, It walks up to him and just goes, "I don't think you are, bro." And the homeless guy's like, "What are you talking about?" He's, "I don't think you're homeless. I think you out here fronting." And the dude's, like, obviously homeless as shit. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. And so I got to go over there and be like, "Yo, Chandler, nah." And I got to, talk to the dude, be like, "Yo, bro's fucked up,"
Yeah.
He's a homeless guy, so I didn't care. I was like, "Bro's off the shrooms," And he just started laughing. So then we were straight from that situation. But it's like he just kept fucking with people. And then this group of kids comes up to us, and they're selling pink hats for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
and Chandler, we had just walked around a corner, and there was like, there's a couple black dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my boy here is like, basically we see this group of kids, and he is like, "Hey, there's like, these streets are rough, and these kids are just trying to sell some pink hats, and like they're, it's perfectly safe out there, you feel me?"
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Y'all better have a strap on you, bro. Like, I don't know if y'all prepared for what's going on out here," just scaring the fuck out of you, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, "Yo, dude, chill." And they're like, "All right, so you guys don't want any hats?" He's like, I'm just saying, y'all be careful where you step, And I'm like, "Bro, what are you even saying?"
Yeah.
And yeah, we just had some horrible interactions with human beings.
Fuck.
And he was just sauced. And then we go to get back to the car eventually. Can't find the car, right? Because the girlfriend forgot where the car is. And she's got me looking at the GPS, and it's spazzing every which way, turning, because like we're using walking directions and it, whatever.
Yeah.
Bad connection or something. So I'm tripping balls, and the damn GPS keeps turning around every time I get to the end of a street, like on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's brutal.
It was horrible. It was worst case scenario. So we finally get back. I was guiding us, and she was sober. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's how dumb. Like, I'm not gonna lie. She was cooked. She was like a pillhead, She was cooked.
Beautiful.
And so we get back to the fucking place we parked eventually, and then we're driving back to his house, and he's like, "Hey, we should stop at the airport. We can, watch the planes go off. It'll be a good time."
That is a good time.
Now, this is where things get weird. Sorry the story's going on so long, but basically, him and his girlfriend started arguing, okay? And he had been
You
telling
a piece of
well, not even like that. He had been telling me the whole night that, like, he was, thinking about breaking up with her. And he had asked me a few things, like, "What do you think about this? What, you know what I mean?" And so now we're in the car, and she's driving us. We're fucked up. And he's just sitting there telling her, like, "Hey, me and Jeremy were talking earlier, and, like, we both just really agree that, like, you're fucking retarded." The first line. And I'm just like, whoa, what is this?
That's crazy.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, that happened. And then we get to the airport, and we get out, and he's talking more and more about it, like, should I break up or what, And I was like, yeah, don't, like, include me in the shit you're saying, but, like, yes, you know. We get back in the car. He starts doing the same shit, you know what I mean? This is where it gets terrible. We pull into a gas station, and we see a guy run into the gas station with a ski mask on. And we're both like, and we're parked right in front of the doors, okay? So we're like, what the fuck's going on? And then 2 cop cars whip in the parking lot, and they park, like, you know, in the middle of, they don't even pull in a parking spot. Like, they own some cop shit. They're, you know, clearly going to bust this guy, right? So Chandler just rolls his window down and looks out and goes, hey, yo, like, are we good to, like, go in there, you know? And this woman cop was like, I don't know, are you? Because the car smells like marijuana. And I'm like, bro, what are we doing? Why are you talking to the police?
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
So it would have been fine. There was bad list, you know. And then, I don't know what she was doing. The cop was kind of giving him a hard time. And then he said something along the lines of, you know, stop being a cunt. I forget how he phrased it, but he called the woman a cunt. And you really don't do that to women cops.
Yeah, unless you're in England.
Yeah. But ripping a cunt in the United States to a woman cop, I mean, oh.
That's pretty hardcore.
Woo. And so, you know, she just gets him to the full extent, got him on, like, you know, possession of a firearm. I think it was, like, he was allowed to have it, but he was concealed carrying, should have been open carrying.
Yeah.
So they get him with that. We had a little bit of weed. They tried to get him with that. And then, I forget what else. Oh, resisting arrest was because so basically what happened was we were about to be let off scotch-free, right? And then the cop goes back into the gas station, and Chandler goes, like, he, like, gets up and goes in there, and I'm like, bro, don't do this, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just getting a drink. I'm like, uh-huh. Walks in there, and I watched through the glass him, like, turn around, say something to him, and then, like, 3 cops go over, like, grab him and, like, yank him out of there. You know what I'm saying? He's, like, fighting shit. So then, I don't hang out with him anymore, needless to say. But so he went back to his house, or, you know, to jail, and I went back to his house with his girlfriend. So picture this, though. The girlfriend that, you know, he was just breaking up with and, like, telling her that I hated her, basically,
Yes.
you know, via him. Like, I have to ride with her now to, like, his aunt's house to get bail money, you know?
How was that right?
I'm still tripping. Oh, dude. Just horrendous, man.
What was she saying to you?
Nothing.
She's just, like, heartbroken. Her boyfriend, like, has broken up with her, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's sad as hell.
That's like the craziest, saddest fucking tripping story I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, facts.
I'm sorry it took so long. There's a lot of, like...
It was worth it.
That was a lot to unpack. Like,
It
I mean,
was.
It was a long day. Yeah.
when you got to the gas station, like your friends like talking shit out the car and calling the woman cop a cunt.
Yeah.
Like I didn't expect what the fuck you said. Holy shit.
But dude, you talked about, this is not a tripping story, but you talked about Morrow Mountain.
Yeah.
I got locked in Morrow Mountain once with a lady, and we had to get the park ranger to come let us out.
No. In the bathroom?
No, we were just up at the park, just chilling around, looking at the stars and stuff.
Gracious,
And then we got locked in.
You got a lighter?
It was crazy. I do. Folks, you're about to hear some weed smoking.
Fat token.
Hold on. It's not weed smoking. It's THC A through Z. I don't know what letter they're on. It's one of those, though.
Oh, of course it is, bro. Nobody smokes real weed anymore. We out here smoking that THCP little Delta 9 blend.
Come on.
Yeah, there it is. Delta 9.
That's the one.
Back in my day, we didn't even have Deltas.
Son, I'm telling you, we were talking about those $20 tins.
We were.
$20 grams. I mean, fuck.
$20 grams, that's horrendous.
When I was in high school, that's all you could get,
that
man.
was
You
the
were
going rate for day.
I've heard that. That was before my time.
You're
yeah.
14 years old, and you don't know where to get weed.
I
You've never
understand,
really
yeah.
even seen it, but once. And now there's this guy there, and we came up with his name. It was like Calvin.
Yes.
But we got $20 a fucking gram, and it's this little piece of green and this little big bag, and you're just like, oh my God, you felt like such an outlaw.
Yeah.
We can speak about this man because him and some of his family have passed on since the story. Mr. Chase.
Shout out.
Mr. Chase, rest in peace to you. But this man, dude, we were good buds back in high school.
I've got a story about him. Go ahead.
Right on. Dude, this fucking guy, we could talk about him for the rest of the time. But this dude, what were we talking about right before this? And he somehow went into him.
Weed getting fucking really expensive.
Oh, yeah, he would buy weed, dude. And he's like, will you put this in your book bag and hold on to this for the rest? And I'm like, nah. So I would throw it, and you know those bushes outside of Stanley that were sharp as fuck outside that, like, I forgot what building that was, where the circle is at Stanley.
Yeah.
So you know them sharp fucking bushes right there?
Yes.
That's where I'd hide it in, because ain't nobody going in there. So every time I'd about to get on the bus, dude, I'd have to and just rip my hands up just to get this little bag of green.
Dude, I have two stories about, I guess, I mean, he's passed away now, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Mr. Chase.
And his dad died like 2 years later.
Oh, God, that's terrible.
It's
That's terrible. That's sad.
It is.
One night, I was super hard up for cash, and I hit up Chase, and he could get, like, some Reggie for, like, you know, he could get, like, whatever the going rate was at that time. You could get, like, a tenth for, like, $10 of, like, some Reggie, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I know this guy. And it was like a dude we went to school with. I knew him too. I didn't have the direct connection, I guess. And he's like, come pick me up, and like, we'll go get it. And I'm like, for sure.
I hated that.
And like, but like, I knew the guy he was talking about pretty well. So I just went to the spot we were supposed to go, bought the weed, and he's like, where's Chase? And I was like, I'm going to get him later. I'm just picking it up right now. And he's like, oh, that's cool. And Chase hit up my phone probably like 50 times that night. And I just went to where I was ending up for the night and like smoked the weed. And I just never hit Chase back up after that. Like, oh my God. I mean, for starters, it was like a $10 bag of like some Reggie. Like,
yeah,
bruh, I'm just trying to get high tonight. And like, my second story about him is about his brother, his older brother. When I may have been distributing, you know, for a friend, some of the marijuana, and that was when the price was $20 a gram, $60 an eighth. And maybe this dude had just gotten into it. He was older than I was. By a few years, so you'd think, I guess, somebody like that would be experienced. I don't know, just as a younger person, like, especially when you're in like high school, you always think just older people are more experienced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like this older guy who's no longer in high school, he hits me up and he wants 5 grams, and like, I'm like, okay, and like, I gotta head there, and I'm thinking in my head, because I'm hard up for cash too. Like, I'm this like broke ass high school student, and like, I don't know, I'd probably gotten the weed I was selling like out on like a loan, and I had smoked more than I should have, and like needed more money to pay it back. And I'm like, you know, like 5 grams, what do I charge him? You know, like an eighth is $60, that's 3.5. You know, like, yeah, I don't fucking know. If the dude gives me like 70 or whatever, 75, like, I'm gonna be good with that. This motherfucker pays me $100 for 5 grams, which is $20 a gram. And he's like, you know, you got 5 grams, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, here's $100, and I'm like, sounds good.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I give him 5 grams, and I fucking go on my way. I'm like, this fucking idiot, like, just overpaid by. I mean, at that point, you could get a fucking quarter for $120. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you get the extra gram for fucking free, more or less. And this dipshit pays $100 for 5 grams. And it's like, thanks, man. Oh, I just thought of another good weed selling story. At this party, like, one of the dudes I went to high school with, like, yeah, that kid was a fucking douche, but he was buddies with this corrections officer. And again, I didn't know at the time even what like a corrections officer was, but it's just a cop, I guess, but that only like works at like a prison that deals with inmates. Like, they're not like a cop like that pulls you over. They're just like, I don't fucking know, like a cop that works at like a prison.
Right.
And he's like, I'm a corrections officer, and I was like really fucked up, and I'm like, that's cool. And like he bought weed from me for a long time, and like that was cool. He was a good customer. And like the first time he like bought it outside the party, he's like, like, does the corrections officer shit scare you? And I'm like, no, because I really don't know what the fuck that means. And he's like, basically, I just deal with brothers all day. And I'm like, yo. And like another time, I swear to God, it's like the universe just works out like this. Like I just told, like I was hard up for cash, and the dude gave me $100 for fucking 5 grams. I was hard up for cash, and this dude just wanted an eighth, and he knew what the prices were, so there wasn't no funny business. And so it's an eighth for $60, and he gives me $60, and he's like, "Here's 20 more." He's like, "This is a tip. You're a good dealer." And dealer, I'm telling you, fucking weed from like a fucking half ounce that I just got fronted to me. But I was like, thanks, man. And it was like exactly enough money I needed to like go fucking pay off whatever I'd paid for that batch and buy more.
That's beautiful.
I mean, Jesus Christ, you ever get tipped selling weed?
Never.
Yes, you do, apparently, by corrections officers.
How awesome. Dude, can I borrow my light back? He stole it.
That's how that shit goes. You gotta get a certain kind of lighter. I always like the little blue ones.
Yeah.
Because like if anybody had a little blue lighter, it's like that shit's mine. Like
This one's a
you're
big
not
blue.
fucking stealing. That's a big blue.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get the little light blues. But
True that.
yeah, big blue.
Dude, where do we go from here? We've talked about weed. We've talked about whatever I smoked at the beginning. We've talked about ODing.
I don't think we've ever brought up our sponsor.
Holy fuck, dude. This episode is sponsored. Man, you good back
I
there?
mean, for Christ's sakes, we're not sponsoring it by weed. Can you stop for a minute there, Jeremy?
We are sponsored by.
Is Jeremy ODing again? Because I'm not calling the paramedics out here. You can go lay in the yard and die, brother. Okay, good. This episode is brought to you by absolutely nobody. Guys, this is episode 3. Like,
Yeah.
we're saying, like, $5 Suki. You can get your name on here.
Can we tell Jeremy about our... We're having a contest, folks. I'm sure you've heard about it.
Jesus Christ, this is week 3 of the contest. We've gotten some entries at this point.
It is brutal. The man with the smallest cock,
$100.
and the lady with the biggest clit.
$100.
You got the
And-
rest of the year to send it in.
And if the lady with the biggest clit, if it's longer than the dude with the smallest dick, that's a bonus 100.
That is absolutely
It will be.
correct.
It will be.
Beautiful.
Oh my God.
A juicy cleat.
You know your way around some big clits, do you, Jeremy?
That's a story for another time, folks.
Right on.
Okay.
Right on.
That's fair.
That is.
We're not gonna push you past the OD story.
No, I've never seen a big clit in person.
Me neither. But I believe they exist.
It's like Bigfoot.
Dude.
But Tom, we're gonna bring up a more serious topic here.
Sure.
One I think I referenced. Who knows if it was 1 or 2. We're gonna talk about 4-year college.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, we're gonna beat that up.
Yes, we are. Are you ready?
Beat
Yeah,
that
how
thing
fuck
with a
is that?
bat.
I like that weed bag you got. It's even got a weed leaf on it.
Legal.
Let me tell you here, folks, for just a fucking moment. And this shit even says it's got a fucking Oreo emblem on it that says peanut butter Stonio. That's fucking adorable.
thing.
I mean, for Christ's sakes, like you used to have to know somebody, and today I saw a fucking crackhead buying weed in the vape shop and bitching because he wasn't getting 1.5 for $10. He was only getting 1.2.
Totally.
That was in a vape store. They had the fucking scale on the counter when I got there.
I don't
Like,
mean to break up this story. This helicopter's been circling your house for an hour.
if he finds my fucking grow spot, like shit, y'all, like I'm just gonna say run.
I mean, dude, it's been crazy. Like, when we got in here,
You
I
got
was
a
like,
gross spot?
oh, that's loud.
No, not at all. They can't see me winking, can they?
That's coming soon. Dun, dun, dun. But sorry, 4-year college.
Yeah, let's talk about 4-year college for a second. And folks, we want to hear your opinions on this too. So if you want to send us an email to rudust@gmail.com, that would be killer, because like this is a topic we could definitely revisit.
And I just want to throw out really quick is like, I know some people that have went to college and came back their absolute selves. And I know some others who went, we don't talk to them anymore. They are people that once was a friend, but they came back brainwashed. On with the talent show.
So, like, he brings up a good point. There's a lot of elements to this, right? One being, you know, what you enter as is not what you leave as. And, you know, he brought it up as a bad point, which I get. But it could also be a good thing, right? Like, you could get, you know, you get, I don't fucking know. I didn't go to 4-year college, but you could get perspective or what the fuck ever, right? In, like, a good way. But also, in today's, like, career world, job world, what the fuck ever, do you really need a 4-year degree? Do you really need a 4-year degree? Or is it a fucking, like, this piece of paper commodity that colleges, which are just businesses now, like, I mean, like, some colleges have, like, oh, you can eat lobster on Wednesday nights. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
you know, all I got to say about that is, like, they now have a Beyonce course.
Get the fuck out.
I'm telling you, I read that somewhere, and that's just complete garbage.
If you major in Beyonce,
Go kill yourself.
like, go back to dust, okay? You know, are you dust? No, but you need to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, okay. Let's talk about the topic of degrees for a half second. There are degrees out there that will probably help propel you forward, right? And we're strictly talking 4-year. We're not talking masters, which is its own fucking thing. But and we're not talking PhDs, because if you become a doctor of something, you know, that's still up to debate. But more power to you.
Yeah.
We're talking about 4-year degrees. So, like, the topic of your actual degree. If you go get maybe like a business administration degree, an accounting degree, an engineering degree, a nursing degree, feel free to shout them out. Like, just fucking practical degrees. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So if you go fucking 4-year degree major in women's studies, let me fucking ask you, what is that actually doing for you? Because, like,
Exactly.
that shit where, like, well, at least I have a 4-year degree. They can't take it away once you, like, you know, knowledge is some shit that's in your mind that they can't take from you if they take everything in. Fucking 4-year study and a 4-year degree in women's studies. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's pure horse shit.
I mean, that's
It
like,
is.
yes, like, what the fuck is that? But the thing is, now, which makes this such a fucking hot topic, is like, if you go to apply for like a job that requires a degree, most of the fucking time now, they don't even give a shit what your degree's in. They just say 4-year degree required. So if you're applying to be, I don't know, an accountant, it doesn't matter that you have a 4-year degree in accounting. If you have a 4-year degree in fucking, you know, Russian hand jobs, like, that's fine. That's suitable. Like, we know you sat there for 4 years and we want you. You know, come fucking jerk off our general ledger. I don't fucking know.
Dude, yep.
So, like, let me ask you this. As somebody, you know video editing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And would you be opposed to going to get, like, a certification that's saying, I can do this?
I would not.
Say it takes you, like
12-week program?
12-week program.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
You do it in a heartbeat.
But those 4-year, and they all say 4-year. And I'm like, dude, up yours. I should have did that when I got out of high school. But I did not. And I wouldn't change that either. I was having a good time.
If I could go back, again, as much as I've just bitched about it, I would go back and get my 4-year degree.
Yeah.
But, like, I would go to a community college for 2 years first and then finish it up at a fucking 4-year college. Like, I think people nowadays, like, people fucking probably for a minute, they pay for, like, the experience for the most part, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like, you want that 4 year. These are the 4 best years of my life. XYZ. I sucked a dude's dick in college, and now I'm fucking a married accountant with 3 kids. Like, you know.
I went in looking hot, now I'm fat, and I have green hair and multiple piercings.
Dude, yeah, right?
And what do you identify as?
It's hard to even explain.
I identify as get //money, but we've already identified that in the last episode.
Yeah.
So 4-year colleges, I think it's a fucking horseshit scam. I really do. I think I will put the opinion out there, Mr. Aaron. 4-year colleges, horseshit.
Complete.
Fucking horseshit.
Yeah.
If you go and get a degree that actually helps you get a job in your field, more power to you. But we as a fucking society, unless you're in some super, super specialized fields, like I'm talking like being a doctor, fucking maybe an engineer, some shit like that, where you honest to God need to know the fucking shit you're doing before you actually fucking do it.
Yeah.
Not anything where they're just going to teach you what you need to do on the job. It's horse shit. It's horse shit. You're pissing yourself out of money, and you're pissing yourself out of money in the aspect. It's bullshit because society told you to go fucking do that, and probably your parents did too.
Totally.
It's like we need to put a stop to that shit. 99% of jobs are going to teach you what you need to do once you get to the actual job site.
100% correct.
Yeah, that's how getting a job works. I was about to say that. Like, yeah, like you don't really need a prior education for a lot of jobs, like you said, except for some doctor shit. Like, you should have a general idea about the human body and some stuff. I feel
like my cousin's a nurse. He went he was worth it for him. And he's the one who came back normal. Big Rick.
I would also love to shred the fucking pharmaceutical thing. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Because, what they got going on over there is the folks that are teaching the stuff at the college, all the stuff that they've learned, right? The professors are just teaching what they've learned from you feel me? So it's all been, kind of programmed into everybody. But a lot of what they're teaching people is wrong, I feel like, in the medical industry. I think that it needs to be a lot more focused on just, like, getting people a decent diet. And making sure they're exercising a little bit, and I think everybody would be healthy, and I think that, like, we've got everybody focusing on some weird shit,
Can I throw something off topic real quick?
Let's do it.
Did you guys get vaccinated?
Fuck no.
No.
Of course not.
That's a big thing, too. Vaccines aren't really needed, I feel like. I think that, just eat like a good balance of all foods, man. Eat whole foods. Processed foods ain't as good.
Whole foods. Amen. Preach, brother.
Dude, y'all been seeing the effects to the freaking vaccine and all that?
Yeah, you saw DeMar Hamlin drop fucking on field.
Exactly.
That's happening, man.
Dude, it's crazy. Every person in my family.
I just seen a study, dude. 66% of women in the study that they did. It was only like 20 on 20, right? So like, how accurate can that really be? You feel me?
Right.
But anyhow, they got 66% of the women in there were basically, couldn't give birth because of the vaccine.
Dude, yeah, every lady that took it in my family, they all got heart problems right after that. Are you kidding me? And one was young, in her 40s. So what the fuck is that? And they were trying to freaking sell it on us, like telling my parents, y'all got to get it. My mom got COVID, and you know what she did?
Live.
Got through it.
Got better.
Yeah. Exactly.
The point I was just about to harp on with COVID is, like, it was obviously bullshit to me within about the first week or two, because I got out of school, and then I remember it was probably about Wednesday at this point. I think it started on Monday or Tuesday or something. It's about Wednesday at this point, let's say. And, third day, right? And I remember thinking, like, all right, if people aren't, like, dropping dead by now, like, this isn't, like, Ebola. This isn't, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
This isn't, like, the bubonic plague. Like, we're not all about to start dying. If people are this is just a bad cold, then, like, who gives a fuck,
Yeah.
Like, we'll all get a bad cold, we'll all have natural immunity, and it'll be chill. And, like, yeah, maybe a few old folks will die. That's just, like,
exactly.
the flu.
That just
fucking
happens.
Old people get the fucking flu every year and die.
Exactly.
Now, to get into some really interesting shit, dude. Let's say that this was a obviously made in a lab disease, right? I think that that's pretty well documented at this point,
Yeah.
Let's say that that's happened. It also happens to target certain genes, right? Whether that was on purpose or whether they did that somehow, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if they know how to do that. But basically, it mainly targets white Europeans and black people. And then, like, Asians are fine, and a bunch of, like, other people, like, aren't half as affected to it.
Wow.
I have not heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah. When I knew it was bogus is when I would go by like a wing place and it would say, or at my job when you go on and they go like, hey, were you vaccinated? No. Oh, well, if you were and have the card, you get an extra $500. Or at a wing place, if you show your vax card, you can get free wings. I'm like, dude, go fuck yourself. Nobody's ever done that for anything, so you know it's bad news when that happens.
Damn right.
That's what I thought. Man, I had people.
They were offering people $100 at some places.
Oh, yeah.
They were offering people free weed. They were
I'm
offering
telling you.
people donuts at Krispy Kreme.
That doesn't happen. If some virus freaking really did take over, they would make you pay top dollar. I think they know how to cure cancer too, but they're not going to hand you over to that.
It was just the principle of like, I'd already been sick with the thing. And they're telling me I need this shot for like, like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was fine. I was sick for like a week,
Exactly.
Not gonna lie, like 4 or 5 days, like it wasn't the best,
No,
it was like a rough flu and I couldn't taste shit, and so, that happened, but like now I'm chilling.
Exactly.
And here's the crazy thing. So basically I had COVID about twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 3 times total, but the first 2 times I had it for about 5 days. The third time, I had it for like, I think I got it on about like, Sunday. And then by like Tuesday, like the second or third day, whereas like I thought I was in for 4 or 5 days of this shit, like the other 2 times,
Yeah.
I took some mushrooms in the morning, about an eighth, and by about 4 p.m., I didn't have COVID anymore.
Beautiful. So shrooms are the cure?
Fucking maybe,
What?
man.
Fuck a vaccine.
If you ever
Get yourself some
COVID
mushrooms,
again,
son.
Just
Shocker.
take some mushrooms
Yeah.
and rip those and see if that helps you, man. Who knows? Maybe
Totally.
it's a fucking spiritual disease, dude.
Who knows? It's crazy stuff out there, son. Beyond these walls.
COVID's a whole fucking another can of worms.
It
That
is.
is.
That's for another episode.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know if I should bring it up when we
Oh,
were
my
on that
fault.
one.
Yeah, you
No,
brought it
I,
up.
I brought
You're
it.
good. It was good. It was good.
It was.
There's just some weird shit with that.
There is. But fuck, we'll do that next time. Let's get a little opinion on like what you've been listening to this week. Me and oh fuck. So Jeremy, what have you been listening to this week? Me and Jeremy.
A lot of bleeps this episode.
Absolutely. Me and Jeremy spent a lot of time just throwing music back and forth. What you been jamming this week?
Oh, I'm gonna say right off the rip, Out to Get Me, Guns N' Roses,
Beautiful.
and then Mother Maria off that Slash album.
You already know.
Been cranking that one for a while. Rosemary, Deftones,
Come on.
Lean on Me by Bill Withers.
All right. Nice little variety.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, I mean, I feel like old Jeremy just threw out some classics back there.
Dude, that was radical. I always love hearing the Guns love and the Slash love, especially if it's
Slash
not.
song, dude.
Yeah. I just love when it's not Sweet Child of Mine or Welcome to the Jungle. Somebody gives you an obscure one.
They're out to get me! Oh, it's so good.
So,
Can't catch me!
Yeah.
Mr. Aaron, what you been listening to this week?
Man, I've really been on a big kick of the Beach Boys.
Really?
Dude, I'm so deep into it. And now getting into the solo albums. Holy fuck, Brian Wilson might be the absolute genius of the Beach Boys. His solo record that came out in 1988, there's this song called Melt Away. Oh, man. It's such a vibe that I can't even explain.
Beach Boys.
Dude, they are so good. You just think about a ba 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 ba
I
ba.
wish they all could be California.
Yeah, exactly. And then Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanted to. All great. But man, they got some crazy stuff out there that's better than that. Maybe not better than Kokomo. But that's tough to beat. But how about yourself?
All right, I'm going to go with OK Go for this week.
Oh, very nice.
The music, their songs are all right, but like the music videos are what make them.
They're those guys that were on those treadmills dancing back in the day, right?
That's one of those videos, and they've like continued to do it. They actually are just about to put out a new album like today.
Dude, I listened to them back in like 05, 06.
And they're still going. Like,
that's crazy.
Listen, go check out like This One Moment or I Won't Let You Down. Like the fucking choreography that goes into their music videos. I mean, shit will blow your fucking mind watching them. It's well worth the watch.
That's freaking
like,
awesome.
Go check that shit out. The music's decent too.
Dude, I remember when they played the Grammys when I was a kid doing that. How did that song go?
I don't
know the words.
Name of the song, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, here it goes,
Oh,
here
God.
it goes again. Go, now here it goes again.
I feel like if we did a Hey Google name that tune, it would be like, oh yeah, motherfucker, it's this song.
Yeah.
All right.
So good.
Well, you know, if you're not dust by now, I really don't know what to say. Because, like,
Yeah, you
we're almost an hour in at this point.
Son, you got to be crispy out there. Hopefully we got you where you needed to go.
And next week, we're going to talk about COVID, you know, because that's clearly still in the forefront of people's mind.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about hermaphrodites and do they really exist. And recently there's been a sighting of Bigfoot that we're also going to get into. So next week on Shrooms Talk Show, stay tuned.
We also got a special release of the Epstein files.
Whoa.
We will be sharing with you on the next episode.
Holy shit.
I didn't even know about this one.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
Yeah, fucking plug that shit a little bit more.
I made that up.
Okay.
Whoa.
There it
Sorry,
was, Jeremy.
everybody.
There it was, Jeremy. Get the fuck out of the car.
You're done. You're dust. You're crust. You're must.
All right, motherfuckers. Until next time,
Delia, I'm AA Ron,
I'm Mr. Shroom.
and we're out of here.